Right.
Who are you, an investigative journalist?
Right, so I'm an independent journalist, meaning that I work for myself, ma'am. And my only thing is that I understand it's your typical protocol to ask people for their ID. It's my protocol as an independent journalist. My company, we do not provide identification. It's my policy that I do not provide identification to law enforcement unless I'm suspected we have reason. Oh, what's the issue? Is that a threat?
No, I'm telling you right now, you're not allowed to be in this area, bro.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm asking for a supervisor.
You're not
I'm
understanding.
asking for a supervisor.
You're not understanding.
Does your policy not
That's
state?
what I'm saying. I think you're having a hard time.
Does your policy state?
You have issues or something like?
No,
hearing?
I think
you have issues hearing.
I think you have some anger issues, buddy.
You're not allowed to be in this area, dude.
This guy came over here.
Come over here and walk over here.
There's a complete difference. See, this is the contrast in America.
Imagine you walk into a public township hall, camera rolling, only to be surrounded by the mayor's hired goons, shoving you out of restricted areas, demanding your ID and calling the cops for simply filming. Today's audit at Thornton Township exposes how quickly public servants turn watchdogs into outcasts.
We'll go. Let's get into it. Excuse me, sir?
There's no recording in the build. I see you recording. You got your...
Yeah, I'm recording. I'm taking some pictures and videos, sir.
You can't do that in the build. I'm asking you not to. If you continue to do it, I'm going to have to ask you to leave.
Sir, I can 100% record in the building.
Again,
Who told you that? Who gave you that
it's
information?
not allowed. Cameras are not allowed in the building.
Who gave you that information, sir?
So you just going to disrespect this? I'm asking you nicely.
Right, and I'm trying to be cordial and nice with you too as well, sir. I just wanted to know, did you get that information from Tiffany?
Brother.
Who did you get the information from? I'm not trying to be difficult. I'm trying to figure out who gave you that information. Did it come from the township supervisor? Tiffany Henyard? Who did it come from that they told you that recording wasn't allowed here?
Do what you're going to do, brother.
Okay, just wanted to make sure that we weren't gonna have any issues here. This woman definitely. Hold on, let's make sure he's not lying about us.
So you just gonna keep the camera on me like that? I can ask you not to record me. I'm not asking you not to record me.
Well, you can ask me not to record you, you're right, so you can do that. I just wanted to make sure what you were saying, just for transparency and accountability purpose.
It's not your business, personally, what I'm saying.
Oh yeah,
It's not.
It is my business, sir.
That's my personal.
It's not. You're working. You're talking to somebody, reporting, somebody recording, and that's their official duties. I'm not listening on your personal phone call.
I am on the phone.
Right, that's not your personal phone call, sir.
Personal phone.
Right, you were just on the radio reporting somebody, a man with a camera recording inside of the township building here. So that's the information that I'm most interested in, not your personal information, sir. Mind if I get your name, sir, so I know I spoke to you today?
My name is not your business.
What'd you say?
My name is not your business. No.
Do you work for the township or are you private?
I work for. Get the camera on my face, brother.
Well, I would disagree with your take on my camera's in your face. It's actually nowhere near your face, but people like to say that, but you know, in your face would actually be in your face. This is kind of just pointed in your direction right now at the moment, sir. I just would like to know who I spoke with here today, sir. And if you're security hired by the township, I don't know if you're a private organization or you work directly for the township here, Thornton Township. That's all I'm trying to figure out. So you're refusing to provide your own identification, sir? Your name? Gotcha. Hey, security guard said there was no recording in the building, ma'am, just so you know. Somebody else is recording in the building. You should tell them to stop. You'd want to apply your policy equally. Have a nice day, sir. So welcome to Thornton Township. People working with people. Hey, how are you? Good, good, good. What's going on down here?
Some stuff for lawn care for the seniors, that's all.
What is it?
Some lawn care stuff for the seniors.
Lawn care for the seniors. Mm-hmm. So you sign up and they'll do your lawn for free?
Get from the yard, yeah.
They're taxpayer funded, gotcha. Are these all different kinds of programs here?
Mm-hmm.
Tech savvy, general assistance, need food, school programs, big bingo. What's big bingo?
That's an activity event that they do for the township people. Everyone's able to free to join, feed them, everything. They just bingo.
Just bingo. Does the mayor usually attend, or the supervisor here? Sorry, it's the mayor of Dalton.
Varies.
Sometimes she'll attend. So it's just like a charity event, or just like a community outreach?
Community thing.
Community outreach, gotcha. Big.
I'm actually not recording here, and I need you to leave the building too.
Who are you, sir?
I'm security here.
Your security and your name?
Don't have to worry about that. I need you out the door, this door.
Yeah, could you just take a couple steps back. I'd appreciate it, sir. Thank you.
Now I need you moving it to the door. That's what I'm asking you to do.
No, I'm not going to be going. I have business to conduct here, sir.
Call the police 911, because he don't authorize it and stop filming. I just asked you to stop filming.
I would ask you to take a few steps
I
back.
asked you to stop filming.
Sir, please take a few steps back.
Call 911. Get him on the phone. Okay. Tell I got a trespass here. I need him out the building.
And your name is, sir, so I know who I spoke with today?
I asked you to leave.
Z. Folson.
Let's go.
And you work for
Police is on the way.
All Points.
Police on the way.
All Points. I don't need to go.
Yeah.
Oh, is that a restricted area?
This is you. Nobody asked you to come in here, so I
Nope.
need you to leave. Yeah.
Well, aren't there cameras recording us right now?
I need you to leave.
Are there not cameras recording us right now?
Tell them come through the east door too. Tell them come to the east door.
And your company you work for? Sorry.
Sir, I need you to move towards the door.
Yeah.
Start walking around in here.
Hey, how are you? Sir, I'm going to need you to get out of my personal
I need you in
space.
my personal space. I need you to leave. I asked you to
I'm
leave.
going to need you to get out of my personal space, please,
I
sir.
need you to get out of my face. Go.
No, you are in my face, sir.
Stop recording. I just asked you.
You are literally inches from me, sir.
Don't walk back. Don't.
Sir,
You touch me.
if I touch you, what?
Don't go. Don't touch me.
You're getting in my way. You
I
don't
asked
touch
you-
me, okay?
No. I asked you.
You
Stop
don't
coming
touch
in the
me.
building. So don't come past me.
Excuse me, sir. Sir, you are
Don't come in
being...
the building.
Excuse me, sir.
Get out. Move back. I need you
I
back.
don't want to
Move
touch
back.
you in any way. I want to make that clear. I want to go about my business here, sir.
Yeah, I'm asking. The door is right there.
Yeah, I know where the door is, sir.
So that's the exit.
I know where it is.
Okay. You going about your business? That's the way you need to go.
No, I'm going to go this way.
No, you're not going that way.
Yeah, I'm going to go this way eventually.
No, you're not.
Eventually, you'll move out of
You're
my
gonna get
way.
one when they come to get you out the building.
They're going to come and physically remove me. That's what you think's going to happen?
Yeah.
Interesting.
She called the police.
You don't feel safe?
I don't feel safe with
Are
this
you? Are you?
conversation.
Yeah. Why is he confronting me? Right. Right. Why is he confronting me? You're right.
That's in here.
You're in here too. Why isn't he confronting you?
You in here and I don't feel safe. Like I said, he's steady asking you to leave and you not leaving. You steady standing here. I don't feel safe. Like I said. Period. The fuck?
But what does your feelings have to do with me?
It got a lot to do with you because if y'all start fighting and I get hit, it's gonna be a problem.
Oh, I'm not going to fight
Period.
him. I'm not going to fight him.
I don't feel comfortable with him standing.
Please leave out the building.
Do you see what you're doing, sir?
You doing it. I asked you to leave out the building. I asked you not to record. I asked you to leave out the building.
Very disrespectful.
I'm very disrespectful.
Bro, I'm gonna say this. Now you're harassing. It's called harassment now.
No,
You got the camera.
you're wrong.
Now I'm
You're
about
wrong.
to call the police on how you move.
You're wrong.
I done asked you to leave the building, get out people's face with the camera.
No one was in
You're
anyone's
doing-
face with a camera.
We're getting complaints now. Now that we're getting complaints from you,
I asked you to
we're
leave.
gonna hack
We're getting complaints because your supervisor,
No.
him right here, he's the reason.
We're gonna have you removed.
He's engaging in harassment.
Right up here.
Do you see what you're causing here, right?
Yeah. Come this way.
Excuse me, ma'am. Absolutely ridiculous pandemonium going on here, all for a camera. Let's hope that the law enforcement officers. What department is going to be responding, sir? What department's going to be responding here? What department? Just so I know.
Yeah, we're getting complaints now, so we'll probably break the police out. Okay.
That was absolutely insane. That woman is unhinged. That's why you record. I'm being very disrespectful. Apparently exercising my rights is being very disrespectful.
He started getting loud with him, and that's when I said something.
I started getting loud with someone.
Sir, we got people in here that's in there for, sir, I need you to step out the window.
Oh, I'm here for services as well.
Okay, I need you to come over. This is the waiting area. I need you to come from
No,
over.
yeah, no, but this is public. I'm just taking some pictures and video while I wait.
Go over here, because this is where the employees go. I need you to go in the waiting area. Waiting area.
This is not a restricted area. No, I'll wait for the police. I have no problem waiting for them.
Okay, over here in the waiting area. That's the waiting area.
Sir, I go where I want. This is America. This is a free country. No one's harassing anyone except you're harassing me. Wow. Big Brother is always watching us, ladies and gentlemen. Law enforcement has arrived. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
You mind if I get your name and badge number?
Sure. My name is Officer Bogren, badge number 125.
Thank you, officer. I appreciate it. My name is Sean.
Okay. What's going on today, Sean?
I'm an investigative journalist. I'm just here trying to get some public information and document and work on a story. And security officers here have become very aggressive with me, telling me that I can't record in the public areas. And they're so aggressive that they startled a woman saying that she didn't feel safe here because the officer was literally, I'm not going to do it to you, but one of the security officers was literally like inches from my face, you know, coming real close to, you know, putting his hands on me. So I tried to de-escalate the situation best I could, but this woman started freaking out over the confrontation and she put the blame on me somehow. So that's just what's going on. They said they were going to call you.
Okay. Who is our CP in this?
Hey, sir, how are you? Can I just get your name and badge number? Right there. THERE. THEIR. South Holland Police. So this is the supervisor who called you, the white shirt.
Sir. What's your name?
Right there.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I don't see any credentials. It was an unauthorized visit. I asked him to stop filming. He's been walking through the building. He's upsetting clients that's coming in here. People try to do regular business, so I asked him to leave.
That was you. You're upsetting people. That's not true. That's a lie. According to you, this is putting a camera in your face, right?
Okay.
It's not.
Well, the only thing we need to see credentials, if we could just see an ID. And then
Oh no, I don't provide any ID, ma'am, unless I've been suspected of committing a crime. Unless you have reasonable articulable suspicion I committed a crime, which I doubt you have because I haven't committed any crimes here today, ma'am. It's all on camera.
No crimes have been committed.
Right.
We usually and typically identify anyone that we've made contact with. It has nothing to do with it being a crime.
Right.
That's just our protocol.
I understand it's your protocol. I get it.
Secondly, you're in a public area. As long as you stay in the hallway, that's fine. But if you are imposing on people who are trying to get their work done, or if you are in the process of capturing something, because people up here are handling personal business. This is not public business. So if you're getting any of them on camera without their consent, you cannot do that. So if you have permission from these people to be filmed, do you have that?
Well, I don't need
Or
permission. I don't need permission. I let you speak. I'll answer you.
Allow anyone any time to know that you were coming? Do they know who you're? You're
Well,
saying
no.
you're an investigative
Right.
journalist, but you're not saying who's with.
I'm talking to the law enforcement. I understand, sir. I'm just talking to.
You don't have any paperwork saying that you're allowing that video that you're going to put out. Please leave the business, sir.
Sir, I don't. Sir, I'm going to speak to the law enforcement officers. Who are you?
Don't worry about that. I'm part of the building. I belong in the building. You don't belong in the building. You're not here for service.
I don't belong here. Okay. So yeah, listen.
You haven't told anyone like who you're with.
Right.
Who are you, an investigative journalist?
Right. So I'm an independent journalist, meaning that I work for myself, ma'am. And my only thing is that I understand it's your typical protocol to ask people for their ID. It's my protocol as an independent journalist. My company, we do not provide identification. It's my policy that I do not provide identification to law enforcement unless I'm suspected, we have reasonable articulable suspicion I'm committing a crime. I didn't get anybody's permission to come here today, nor do I need it. This is a public building. I am not putting my camera in anybody's face. That would probably be harassment. This is as close as I gotten to anyone. That supervisor right there, he got in my face and started threatening me. So that's, if you want to investigate something, investigate him. I'm here on constitutionally protected business.
Wind your video back so that we can see the altercation or the incident.
No, it's fine because you're not going to do anything about it anyway. No one ever does when a public employee does something aggressive. But you know, it'll be part of my story, and I'll work on it. And if you want to do something about it after, you can. But I'm not looking to press charges on him or anything for disorderly conduct or anything like that. But he definitely engaged in unlawful behavior, threatening behavior. You know, it's not my. I don't want to get anybody arrested at this time. I'm here to peacefully document. I was more concerned about, you know, him getting in my face was it was a danger to everybody here because it was causing people to get riled up. And that's not my intention here. My intention is to record peacefully. I'm investigating. As you know, the township supervisor here, Mayor Tiffany Henyard, has been involved in a lot of allegations of corruption here. So I'm just investigating that as any good journalist would. And I'm here to do some public records requests. And that's it, man. I'm just going to stick to the publicly accessible areas here. There's nothing, I don't want to harass anybody. I'm not looking to interview anybody. I'm just here to document my experience here.
Okay. And you said a public records request?
Right, ma'am.
Okay,
a FOIA request.
Have you filled
I'm going to, yeah, I'm going to.
Okay. Do you guys have a FOIA form to provide to him? No? Okay. So you would have to go online to do that?
Well, no, there's by statute, by the FOIA statute, Freedom of Information Act, they have to provide it in person.
No, you have to fill out a request.
Right, which would be done in person because not everybody has access to the internet, ma'am. Not everybody knows how to work a computer, so that
If they're saying they don't have any forms,
they have
they
one.
give you, yeah, but
But you're asking security guards and. But you're, ma'am, respectfully, ma'am, you're asking security guards if they have a FOIA request
no, I
form.
didn't ask.
Yeah, he's a security. She didn't answer you because she didn't hear you.
But
Ma'am, do you have a FOIA request form for the township? You do? I thought so. May I get one, please? You just said you did. You could print one out for me. That would be great, ma'am. You don't have a printer. Very convenient. Well, all right. So we could just stand here all day and say your printer works or something. And I have official business to conduct here. I mean,
sir, as of now, as much as I hate to say it, you have not provided any credentials. Not even a business.
Can I please speak to your supervisor, ma'am, please?
My
Can I?
supervisor is over at 162.
No, but can you call him here, please?
They're not going to come here because they're on an accident scene right now. But you can go over to the PD and you can ask to speak to our sergeant. Okay? You have not provided any proof of who you are.
I don't need to, ma'am. This is the United States of America. It doesn't matter, ma'am. Anybody can be an independent journalist, ma'am. This is the United States of America, ma'am. Do you understand the First Amendment?
The first thing you asked me for was my ID. Right?
Because you are a public servant, respectfully, ma'am. I do not work for the public.
So what we're going to state to you, sir, is that these people have asked you to leave the premises, okay? We can ask you to leave the premises.
This is a public building. Anybody's allowed in the public building, ma'am.
That doesn't
This is why I really would like you to please. I'm telling you, ma'am. Listen, I'm telling you, ma'am.
If what you're doing is causing some kind of a disturbance.
I'm not. You have not seen any disturbance that I've caused.
I came from the basement and heard noise. That's how I came upstairs.
I can't, yeah, but
Been in this building for over half an hour. In people's face.
what room was I in? The secure room here?
He's in the basement.
I was asking questions about the bulletins. Listen, I investigate corrupt governments all the time and corrupt police departments all the time. This is what I do for a living. And I'm telling you right now, if you force me to leave the building under threat of arrest, I'm going to hold you accountable. This is a public building.
I think somebody needs to come up with a FOIA, because if he has legitimate business here and he wants to submit a FOIA request, this is a public building, he should be allowed a FOIA request, if not, given a time where he can come back for one. Because this is a public building, so he does have a right to be here, he has a right to conduct business, but if he's not conducting business, he's got to move along.
Can you print off a FOIA request form, please? You have one? Thank you. Well, did you ask for a FOIA request?
No, because they immediately confronted me. So you weren't even here. Sir, calm down. You weren't even here. Yeah, you were doing something else. You weren't even here, sir.
Were you here for anything else other than the FOIA request?
Yeah, I'm going to fill it out here. I'm going to take care of it. No, and I'm also here. And again, I see what you're trying to say about, I'm not saying I understand, but, you know, having official business here. This is a public building. I have a First Amendment right to record government officials in the course of their duty. There's federal case law on it. I have been part.
I get what you're trying to do.
I have been
You're trying to get a reaction. Everything is fine.
No, I'm not trying to get a reaction. I didn't call you. You don't know what I did. So when you see the video,
they called me because they were disturbed.
If me standing here, I know that that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be a professional peacemaker. If me standing here with a camera is harassing people, then any journalist would be a harasser. Especially journalists get more confrontational than me. I literally was just standing here in a public place with a camera, and people lost their minds. That is not on me. I didn't confront them. I didn't say, hey, I didn't put my camera in their face. If people lose their minds over a camera, then that means, in my experience from investigating corrupt governments, that means there's something to hide here. I have nothing, no ill will towards anybody. I'm here investigating.
The people who you were recording were only the employees here, correct? So no one else in the building.
Well, yeah, they can get caught on just like there's a camera right behind you, ma'am. That's why the courts have also ruled that there's no reasonable expectation of privacy in public. So that's how you're able to record everybody. I don't have to sign a waiver every time I walk into the.
I'm just saying that you stated that.
Every time I walk into town hall, I don't sign a waiver.
Might be doing something corrupt. These might just be citizens who just don't want to be.
Well, the only person that really got upset, ma'am, to be honest with you, is when the supervisor in the white shirt, he came up to me and started aggressively trying to get in my face and aggressively order me to get out of the building. And then she got nervous because she thought we were going to fight for some reason. I have no intentions to fight with anybody. I'm talking to him the same way I'm talking to you. I'm not trying to escalate it. I'm not, agitating anybody. I'm just here to conduct my investigation, which is my First Amendment right, the same right that you took oaths to uphold. That's it. I also go around the country. I'm an investigative journalist, but I'm also a trainer of police departments. I go to police departments, again, to your point that I'm trying to gauge a reaction of people. I try and bridge the gap between police departments. I work with them. I do trainings. I try and bring everybody under the education of the First Amendment, government transparency, and accountability. This is not an anti-law enforcement thing. You're only here because they called you. I would have never called you here. And I would just like to go about my business, taking my pictures and video, doing my FOIA request, and that's it. Okay?
Well, sir, you have your Freedom of Information Act.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Do you have a card?
I don't, but I can.
For the training purposes. You can
Right.
go
Well, yeah. I would love to. I would love to work. I don't have a card, but you could check out. You can send me an email, longislandaudit@gmail. Simple enough. longislandaudit@gmail.
Is it any caps or anything like that?
No, just longislandaudit@gmail.
Long Island Audit?
Yeah, Gmail. I don't charge or anything. I just want to try and make sure that everybody's on the same page with the First Amendment and government transparency. That's it. It's just an investigation. That's all. Thanks. Take care.
Have a good day.
You too. Take care. Excuse me, ma'am. Sorry. That's definitely a walk of shame right there, ladies and gentlemen. They wanted so bad to kick me out of the building. You don't have any business in public. Are you kidding me?
When faced with unlawful orders, no filming. Show your ID or you're creating a disturbance. Stand your ground calmly. Assert your First Amendment rights. Keep recording from public areas. File your FOIA request on the spot. And maintain a safe but firm distance. True transparency wins when citizens refuse intimidation. Now, imagine you're filming a public parking lot. Nothing more than a camera and curiosity when two officers arrogantly declare you're detained without a sign or law violated demanding your business and ID. Just when you think it can't get worse, a savvy sergeant steps in, calls out their bluff, and sends them packing. Today's audit exposes how ignorance and ego clash with constitutional rights.
Good, how are you?
You working here or something, or?
Well, yeah, technically, yeah.
Okay.
I am, but
Can I help you with anything?
No, I don't need any help with anything right now. Can I
Okay.
get your name and badge number though?
Sure, Kuhn, KUHN, Shield 17. Can I ask you what you're doing?
17. I'm just taking video and picture. How you doing, sir?
What?
What?
We got in the parking lot. Myself and Officer King.
How you doing?
You're
Can I
not allowed
get-
to be. You're not
can-
allowed to be in this area.
Can I get your name and badge number?
You can read it right there, but you're not allowed to be. You're not allowed to be in this area. You have any business here?
I do have business here. Yeah.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you that.
What's your business?
I don't have to tell you. Hey, whoa.
What's your business?
Just relax, man. It's not a bit. It's not that big of a deal.
No, it is a big deal because you're not allowed to be in this area. This is for authorized personnel only.
That's
so
not.
if you'd like to go in the lot,
That's not true.
go
There's
sit over
there's no sign saying authorized personnel only. So
No, well, I'm telling you that. So you can go into the
no,
parking
you
lot.
can't
and
just.
stand over there
This is a public parking lot. So
No,
what
it's not.
happens is Geyer.
it's
Is that
not.
how I say that?
It's
this
not.
is a public parking
It's
lot.
not.
Yeah, because it's funded by
It's not.
taxpayer.
It's not.
You're wrong.
It's not. You're wrong.
You're wrong.
You're wrong. Listen, buddy, we can go take a walk over here, and you can go stand over there. We can have this
You
conversation.
could take a
problem.
walk over there if you'd like. There is no signs deeming this a restricted area.
I'm telling you.
Yeah, you can't do that.
telling
you can't. You can't just deem an area restricted that's open to the public.
So then maybe you're having a hard time listening. Okay, that's what the issue could be here.
No,
I'm just trying to tell you, bro.
I don't think
we'll
that's
take
it.
a walk over here.
Yeah.
That's it. You're not allowed to be over here.
Yeah, no, I understand. But what I'm telling you is you can't just make an area restricted. It has to be restricted already. This is not a restricted area
No,
here.
you're sadly mistaken, pal.
Okay.
You're sadly mistaken.
Okay. Why don't we get a supervisor out here?
Why don't we walk over here where you're allowed to be,
I'm
or we
gonna-
can have an issue.
Oh, what's the issue? Is that a threat?
No, that I'm telling you right now, you're not allowed to be in this area, bro.
I understand what you're saying, and I'm asking
you're
for
not
a supervisor.
understanding. You're not
I'm
understanding.
asking for a supervisor.
You're not understanding.
Does your policy not
That's
state?
what I'm saying.
Does
I
your
think you're
policy?
having a hard time.
Does your policy state?
Do you have issues or something like?
No, I
hearing?
think
you
you
have
have.
issues hearing.
I think you have
You're
some
not
anger
allowed
issues,
to be
buddy.
in this area, dude.
This
That's
guy
what I'm trying
came
to tell
over
you.
here.
Come over here and walk over here.
There's a complete difference. See, this is the contrast in America of you got cops like you, and then you got cops like you.
Listen,
Cops who want to escalate and cops who want to de-escalate.
we're trying
There's
to
a
tell you
difference.
very nicely. You're
That's
not
how
listening.
good cops get hurt because people like you,
Okay.
when they go in all gun ho.
Okay.
Let me finish what I'm saying.
Hold on.
I was just finished what I'm saying.
Can I have your
That's
ID,
all.
please, so we know who we're talking to?
No, you're not going to get my ID. I haven't committed a crime unless I've committed a
You're
crime.
trespassing, just like
No,
Officer Guy said.
no.
So you see this area. Why do you think the public's not here? Why do you think nobody walks?
Because they're choosing not to be here.
No, it's
This-
not 'cause they're not
This is
choosing.
not a
Let me show you
restrict. This is
something.
not a. It's authorized.
We're trying to
Authorized.
show you, man.
I don't need to go look at it. I read it already.
Come here,
Authorized vehicles
And
only.
personnel.
No. Authorized vehicles. I am not in a vehicle, as you can see.
Watch out, your shoes are untied. I don't want you to slip and fall on.
Okay, I'm fine. This is not. I'm not in a vehicle.
Okay, so here's the problem.
Authorized
So
vehicles.
here's the problem. You're telling me you're not going to tell me your business, right? That's what you're telling me?
I'm telling you right now
Hold on,
that I'm
you're
a
telling me-
journalist. I'm going to tell you, I'm a journalist working on a story, and that's as
Okay.
much I'm going to say.
But you're
I'm
refusing to tell
engaging.
me.
I'm engaging in a
hold on.
constitutionally
But you're
protected
refusing
activity
to tell me who you are, correct?
because
got a stranger.
because I don't
hold
have
on,
to.
so hold on. Because right now you're a complete stranger. I got a stranger over in my work area, walk around videoing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what your intentions are, correct?
Yeah,
Correct?
yeah.
I have no idea. Because you know what's not normal? There's a guy. Where's your credential? If you're a journalist, that's fine. Where's your credential, sir?
You don't need credentials, and I don't need to provide you with anything unless you have reasonable articulable suspicion that I've committed a crime. I'm about to commit a crime.
kind of suspicion?
Reasonable articulable. Did you learn that in training or no? Okay.
We don't-
So
we don't
reasonable you don't use that over here?
We don't use that phrase.
I mean every police reasonable articulable suspicion.
I never heard those two words used together.
Wow, that's kind of scary.
No.
That's kind of scary.
I'm just saying.
It's very important to your job because you can't do anything without that, without reasonable articulable
I can,
suspicion.
because
You haven't
now-
done anything.
No, well, who said you touched me? I didn't say you touched me.
Now I have a person, and I don't know her intentions, in our work area, where you're not supposed to be videotaping. You don't see that as being suspicious?
There is nothing preventing me from being here, number one. Number two, I'm engaging in a constitutionally protected activity,
Such as?
filming. It's a constitutionally protected activity.
Okay,
I'm an
and
independent.
nobody's told you not to film, have
I'm
they?
an independent journalist,
Uh-huh.
and I'm gathering
And
content
nobody's
for a
told you
story.
not to film, correct?
I'm
I
not
got
saying
no problem
that,
filming.
but-
I'm trying to find out why you're here. You're being evasive, okay?
I
You're
just
not
told you
providing-
that. I just
okay,
told you
you're not
everything I
providing-
need to tell you.
I'm just trying so we can engage who we're talking to. We can keep ourselves safe, right? So I can know who I'm talking to.
I never. You guys are the ones with the weapons, not me. You guys should feel.
What does weapons have to do with anything?
Because you're saying you don't feel safe with a guy with a camera. Come
Why
on,
not
man.
doing that?
In the middle of broad daylight.
Okay, and what are you going to do with the video, right? Because now listen to me. So now I got a subject, videotaping comings and goings, videotape the entire layout of this parking lot.
Yeah.
What am I supposed to say people are going to do with that?
I don't know.
In my
You could get it from Google Maps if you wanted
I
to.
don't
Come
care,
on,
but
man.
I'm not worried about Google Maps. I'm worried about a subject here who refuses to tell me his name.
Yeah, I'm a good citizen. That's what I am. I'm a good citizen
Anybody
here.
say you weren't?
I'm not saying. Listen,
You're being evasive.
I told you what I'm here to do. How am I being evasive? Would be I'm not gonna.
Okay,
well, listen, evasive would be I'm not gonna answer your questions and then spin off and walk away from you because you have no authority here.
Nobody's trying to listen. Here's the bottom line.
I told you what I'm doing.
Once again, I'm just trying to explain to you. This area, you gotta understand where we're coming from. All right, there's cops that are getting ambushed and shot every single day. Okay. Just like that.
Just like there's people being killed by cops every single day. Yes,
Absolutely.
it works both ways.
It does, 100%. Not disagreeing with
and
you,
I
man.
understand that.
But I'm just telling you right now, from our standpoint, you're asking why we're approaching you, asking you questions.
No. See, that's where you're mistaken.
Okay.
I fully expect you to do your job and come up to me and ask questions. That's what I expect.
Somebody who I am, okay. I work with, as a part of what my gig is I make sure that I facilitate the bond between the community and policing. So how about this?
Really?
I can offer you a little bit more help. But once again, we need to know who we're speaking with and what type of credentials you have as far as what type of project you're working on. So listen,
just
man,
told you.
if you have it could be to the point you want to come on a ride along, we'll take you on a ride along, man.
Yeah.
It could be to that point.
That's not what I want to do at this moment.
But if you're but I'm just saying, if you're walking around in an area that's for authorized personnel only, and you're not explaining.
But that's not true. I read the sign.
What does the sign say?
It says
word for word.
Authorized vehicles only. Authorized. There is no. I'm not in a vehicle. I'm on
What
foot.
else does it say?
Authorized vehicles only. That's what it says.
So let me ask you this.
I'm not in a vehicle.
Let me put you a hypothetical, right?
So
you think at this point you can just walk in all around that station, right? You can walk in, go wherever you want.
No.
Well, why? Hold on. Well, why?
Because you have locks on certain
hold
doors.
On, but why? But is there any sign saying you can't?
Well, if you lock the door.
So hold on, but there's an expectation. Okay, that's what I'm getting. There's an expectation. You're telling me you can't freely walk through that building, right? Because it's a police station, right?
No, because you set up barriers. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
You've had your chance.
I'll let you finish.
Okay, because there's an expectation that's not normal, right? You see anybody else just walking through here because it seems normal to walk through here?
But what's normal to you, it might not be normal to me. What's weird to you might be, this is the United States of America. We could have difference of opinion.
Let me ask you this. So most journalists, right? They want to come and they want to do stories. They want to get information.
Yeah.
You know what they do? They call up and they make appointments. So that way, guess what you could do? You could walk around here and say, "Hey, officer."
But why would I do that? Why would I do that when I can do it anyway? Why would I call if I could just do it anyway?
We wouldn't be doing this, would we?
I mean, you could do this all you'd like. Am I detained?
Right now, yes. Until we figure out for sure what you're doing.
So
yes.
you're telling me that I'm detained?
Yes. Until I can figure out who you are.
Interesting. Okay, this is an unlawful detainment, just so you know.
Okay. Until I can figure out what your true intentions are. You're telling me you're a journalist.
So can you tell me what crime? Can you articulate a crime that I've committed?
I don't have to detain you for a crime. This is suspicious right now.
So
this is
suspicious. Is suspicious a misdemeanor or a felony?
Not suspicious activity right now. I gotta try to find out what you're doing.
Is suspicious activity, sir, a misdemeanor or a felony?
Well, it all depends on how you want to speak. It all depends on what you're doing, doesn't it?
It's neither.
I don't know what your business
It's neither.
I don't know.
It's neither. I'm here conducting my own business. Now I'm not free to leave. I'm being detained against my will, unlawfully, for no crime I've committed.
Until we can prove what you're doing.
I'd like to speak to a supervisor, please.
Absolutely.
And since I'm being detained, I'm gonna.
Absolutely. We'll have a supervisor come talk to you.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have just been really easy, man. You could have just told us what
you guys are going above and beyond your authority. You have no authority to detain me. None. Zero.
When I have a stranger walk around where I work,
that's not true. Hopefully you'll learn something today.
I don't know you.
It doesn't matter if I'm a stranger or not. It doesn't matter. What does that matter?
Normal activity.
You enforce the law. If I'm not breaking any laws, you have no business with me.
There's people coming in and out of here. As far as cars coming in and out, you can get yourself hurt. All right, so you don't.
Yeah, but I'm a grown man and I know how to walk through a parking lot.
Well, your shoes are untied. You're grown, but your shoes are untied. That doesn't really go hand in hand with me. It doesn't. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Because I told you your shoes are untied. I'm trying to explain to you, and you're refusing to give us any information.
I walk in. He's walking around.
Hey, how are you, sir, Sergeant?
Going through. So I come over, try to talk to him, try to engage him.
Can you take me off of this unlawful detainment, Sergeant, before I'm being unlawfully detained? So
you're not being detained.
No. This guy told me I was being detained.
Listen, I told him he's staying here, trying to figure out what he's doing. He just want to get his name with
So I'm sure as the sergeant would know, you can't detain me for no reason.
A journalist.
I am a journalist.
Walking through our work area, he's over by
This
all
is
our
public.
vehicles.
This is
So,
public.
You know, things have been, you know, up and down. But, you know, so the journalist doesn't want to provide any sort of credentials, doesn't want to
I don't
talk
have
me,
to. That's
doesn't
why.
want to tell us why he's
I've been
here.
very decent with you guys, though.
We said you haven't been disrespectful. We're just trying to figure out what you're doing.
No, but what you're doing right now, officer, is that you're violating my rights. I'm a free man, and you're telling me that I'm
Not when
detained.
you're conducting suspicious behavior.
That's not
I
a
can
crime,
detain you
sir.
for that.
You have to learn the
Nobody
law,
says it's a crime,
Sergeant.
but
Can
I
you
can
please?
detain you
I
for
want.
suspicious
I would appreciate it if you could please,
Here's
you know, de-escalate this
sir,
and.
okay? My officers are doing the right thing. You're in our parking lot, taking photographs and everything. Not illegal, okay? But certainly something for us to be concerned about, okay?
Which is
There's
okay.
a lot of attacks against police. There's a lot,
Sure,
a lot of
yeah.
stuff going on.
There's a lot of stuff going on. If I'm on everybody's
so you're
part.
here with your phone. This is, I mean, it's not fenced in or anything like
Exactly.
that. But not necessarily just open to the public. Okay.
Well, unless
This
it's
is our- this is
unless
our
it's restricted.
private- this is our private
Okay,
lot.
I'll let you
all
finish.
right? There are signs mostly for vehicular traffic,
Mhm.
but it does say unauthorized people not allowed to come in.
Vehicles.
Vehicles.
I read
I
this
said
stuff.
that. It's mostly for vehicles.
Yeah.
Okay. But again, this is why you were stopped.
Yeah.
Is because it's not necessarily illegal what you're doing, but certainly a little suspicious as to why. If someone just showed up at your house, granted that's private property, a little bit different.
Yeah.
But or say you're parked in Walmart, right? And you come outside, someone's taking pictures of your car, looking inside of your car,
Yeah.
checking things out. You'd be like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?"
Uh-huh.
Right?
Yeah, and like I told your officers, I have no problem with them coming up and making contact with me, voluntary contact. But when it comes to the point of an unlawful detainment, now you're holding up my freedom of movement.
Okay, well, we're investigating what was going on. Okay.
Yeah, but
officers are
as
trying
a
to
sergeant, you should know that your officer here didn't know what reasonable articulable suspicion was. So he said he's never heard of it. You guys don't use that here. Is that true?
No, what I said was I never heard the way you described it. First of all,
Reasonable articulable suspicion. You said you didn't know what that was.
No. As far as how we conduct business, we don't conduct business.
Well, I'm gonna teach you something. In order to detain somebody, you need reasonable articulable suspicion. That's not speaking the way I do.
Like you just said, everybody's different, right?
So when you detain somebody, what's your burden of proof? What do you have? What do you do? You just go to random.
Hey,
You just go to random people and say you're detained.
Enough. You don't need to sit here and argue. Okay. You guys are all set.
All right.
You guys can go.
Take care, guys. Stay safe out there.
Okay.
Sarge, listen. All I'm doing. I have no ill intent.
You're
I'm
not
just
being violent. You're not being.
No.
You're not even being argumentative. You're not. You're free. You're recording me. That's fine. You're also being recorded. I'm
I
sure
know.
you already know that. So, again, just explaining to you.
Yeah.
At first, we want to try to find out. I'm not going to try and force you to give me your name. I'm not going to try and force you to give me identification
appreciate
or
that.
anything like that. Okay. But you have to understand what you're doing, while not technically illegal, is a little concerning to us.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't know if you're trying to sabotage our cars. We don't know what you're doing out here.
Which, like I said, I'm a reasonable person, and I could understand that. Some guy walking around your parking lot, filming your vehicles, filming the building, like you said, completely legal to do. I'm not mad that they came up to me. I'm mad in the form that they came up to me. They came up to me, hey, where's your ID? This and that. You're being detained. That's an unlawful detainment, and you know it, Sergeant. But like I said, it's not a big deal. It's 5 minutes. I prefer the education. If you could just next time tell them, hey, listen, you can't just detain people willy-nilly. That's not how the world works.
Well, you are right about that.
You know what I mean?
You
You
can't
can't
just tell people
you're
not free to
detained.
go
Yeah,
for no reason.
for not, especially when you know I'm not breaking the law. You just said it yourself.
You're
so,
not breaking the law, but you're
but you could talk and listen. When you guys came up to talk to me, could I have not have just said, hey guys, what's up, and just kept walking and not stopped?
Sure.
Because I don't have to stop for you. This is right now. This is a voluntary interaction,
You are
right?
absolutely correct.
So, but I stopped and talked to you guys to try and quell the fears. I try and say, hey, listen, I know I know you're worried that I'm filming the cars. I'm a journalist. I'm gathering content for a story. Okay. That's it. And I'm no ill intent, nothing like that. I'm just filming the police station, around the police station, the different cars. I've never been here before.
What
I'm independent.
Oh,
I'm independent. I'm independent. Yeah.
You have like a blog or whatever, something like online and stuff like that. Okay.
I have a bunch of outlets online that I post to. Yeah.
Okay.
And
you're doing what specific story are you doing?
Well, to be honest with you, the story it's on the police department, right? But it's
about our specific police department.
About your specific police department today. Yeah, I do this to a bunch of different police departments.
Okay.
And the whole point is to highlight a sergeant like yourself who came in and de-escalate the situation, and to, you know, hold people accountable, like your officer over there who wanted to escalate the situation, and he didn't know what reasonable articulable suspicion is, correct?
Yes. There's two ways for these situations to be handled. Look, I've watched a lot of these videos where you get the people. I'm not saying this is you, but you do get the people who are
agitators,
trying to get some sort of reaction, normally a negative reaction, because it's good views for their things.
Exactly.
I get all that.
Exactly.
Okay, but
the point, what I want to make very clear to you, Sarge, is that, you know, obviously you guys doing stuff that you're not supposed to is going to get views. But what I try and do is I'm trying to say, hey, listen, I'm going to be reasonable. I'm going to talk to you. I'm not going to spin off. I'm not going to curse at you. I'm not going to do anything that's going to try. I'm not going to try and aggravate you. I'm just going to try and just stand firm in my rights and just do what I need to do in a respectful manner. In a respectful manner. And then whatever your officers or whatever police department I'm filming at that particular day decides to do, it's on them. You know, there are people who do what I do, and they, you know, like to agitate a little bit, and, you know, they like to,
look, there's good and bad in every profession.
In every profession,
right?
exactly.
So,
at my profession, what I'm doing is, like I said, if they want to go crazy, yes, that is good views. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be that way.
That's not your point.
I prefer to have a good conversation like I'm having with you right now, Sergeant. Like, I prefer to listen. I could understand that it's concerning.
I wouldn't even say suggestion or a request. Maybe if you do this again, I'm sure you're going to be doing it again.
Yeah.
Maybe stop in.
Yeah.
And be like, hey, you know, this is what I'm going to be doing. I'm not saying you're going to come in, show ID, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you say you're a journalist. It's like a private. You work for yourself, so you're not gonna have any kind of.
Yeah, I mean, I could print something up. So. That's what they all do. Everything is printed up, so it's kind of, it's, you know, even
anybody can make anything.
And you know what I mean.
Nowadays,
it's like, how does that really make me any safer? I could just print out a thing that says press badge, and then you guys would be like, hey, cool, okay, and you feel safer. You know what I mean? That's my whole point. Is that those things don't mean anything. That the Constitution means something, and the Constitution grants me the right to film the police, to film in public, and this is public. And if you would have had a sign that said, no authorized personnel, restricted area, police only, I wouldn't be here because I don't break the law. So even though that wouldn't be a law, you know, because you guys have the right, people like to say that this is a private, like you guys are private property. It's not private, it's public, but you do have authority over the property to restrict certain areas. Like I couldn't go walk into the building.
If you came in here and you wanted to slash all our tires.
Yeah, no. Or
different,
even if I went inside, I can't walk around your whole precinct.
No, you certainly can't. Yeah, there's public areas in the
private, exactly. So you make it.
Building's a different thing because the building's secured and all that. So
exactly. You secure your areas that you don't want.
Into the lobby and stuff like that. Like I first thing I said to you is, look, we don't have a fence here, so
yeah.
I can
it's not secured area.
Put up as many signs as I want.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to walk through here,
because public roads right there, and you know, like I said, I'm just filming. I've never been to Newburgh before.
Right over here,
yeah, I'm gonna go check that out too.
By people, here's a parking lot. I'll park here. That's not town hall. That's town hall. So yeah, they're gonna be walking through and stuff. Yeah. So I get all that. It's just what you were doing. Again, I've said it a couple times now. Not illegal. But I think you can understand why we would want to know what's going on.
No, and I can, and like I said, I think anybody who wouldn't understand that is not reasonable. I'm reasonable. This is your job. This is your job. So you're gonna see somebody coming out and filming your cars and filming your building. You're gonna come out and ask them.
It's gonna happen. But you gotta around here.
But you gotta learn how to, because you know when that one officer, he started escalating. You know that's gonna aggravate me. It's gonna aggravate him, and it's only gonna lead to something stupid happening and somebody getting arrested. You know, it doesn't make sense. You could just have a conversation. Hey, buddy, I know you're not doing anything illegal, but you know, can we talk about it? Right? I could have just been like, nope, and just turned around and said no and kept walking. Right? But I know that's only gonna see if I wanted to cause a situation.
You're
exactly.
Not here to do something wrong.
Exactly. So I have nothing to hide.
That's the only thing. Like I said, my only request.
Imagine I would have done that. Imagine I just would have spun around and kept walking. You know, I'm sure that would be a way for them to get them to do something that I would want them to do for views, right? But you know, it's not about that. It's about education. It's about, you know, just exercising my rights in a peaceful manner. That's all we're doing here. I understand
where you're coming from. So that's what, like I said before, my only thing is if you're, or when you do this again, if you maybe just stop into the lobby and touch base with somebody inside.
I was actually thinking about doing. I was thinking about next time just being 100. Hey, listen. I'm auditing you guys for the First Amendment. You guys, I'm here to exercise my right peacefully. I would appreciate if you obey all laws, respect my rights, and let me continue about my business.
I think in a way that's probably better.
Yeah.
I may even, if you came inside and say, hey, I'd like to speak to your sergeant,
yeah,
maybe I'll come out and walk around with you, answer
Yeah.
some questions you have or anything
Yeah.
like that. Here,
That's good.
I'll give you tours.
Because we want to.
We'll give you a tour of the lot. I'm not going to let you touch anything,
Yeah.
but you want to look, go ahead and look.
Yeah, well, it's in public. Yeah. So,
Again, like I
yeah.
said, but you know, I think we're on the same page.
Yeah.
Why you were approached initially?
Mhm.
I know you're not happy with the entire interaction,
Just
beforehand, but
if you could just, you know, I'm not going to file like a formal complaint against them, but what I would say is, you know, you seem
I'm gonna go inside and talk with them.
you seem reasonable, so that's what I'm not going to do. Normally I would, but you seem reasonable, so you know, I appreciate it. You know, you can't detain people willy-nilly. That's, you know, I know a lot of officers do it, but it's not right. You know, you have to have reasonable articulable suspicion I'm committing a crime, and which there was none.
Well,
and then, you know, escalation is another thing.
It helps
you know?
when people like yourself know the process as well.
Yeah.
So, you know, I can respect to a degree what you're doing. I at least understand it.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't agree with everything,
Yep.
but I can at least understand.
And
where you're coming from.
that's all I asked for. Yeah.
Like I said, you're not here causing a problem, from what I can tell. I don't see anything messed up or damaged or anything like that.
No.
And from what I was told, you were just looking at things.
Yeah.
So, again, are you finished for the day?
I'm gonna get a couple more shots and then I get out of here. Yeah. I'm gonna just get a couple more shots and be out of here. Head over to Town Hall, take some pictures over there. That's all. All right.
When public servants detain you without cause, no signs, no articulable suspicion, know your rights, calmly assert that filming in public is protected. Ask for a supervisor if needed and never hand over your ID absent reasonable suspicion. And tip your hat to the good cops who de-escalate and defend our freedoms.